you know, this thing, as opposed to what Kenya Kwanza has been saying, there's nothing revolutionary about this fund. I mean, let's be honest. For the people whom we are targeting, the bottom of the pyramid, this fund is not new because they already, the Fuliza and other similar digital credit providers are doing it. And I don't think, I think government needs to look at exactly what the reality is. They should not say the things that are not there. For example, if you are taking Fuliza loan, the original concept was a loan of 3 to 7 days maximum. And let me tell you, the people at that level, they are borrowing for 3-4 days. You are buying today, you need 1,000 shillings, you collect it, you sell these things in the evening, you sell by tomorrow morning, you return that thing. So it's not about people taking a loan for a year. You know, and the average so far, even after COVID, for Fuliza has not gone beyond 14 days. Average is 14 days. You know, and you're talking of 500, 600 billion in a year that is being taken, you know, through Fuliza. And the rate of interest, if you look at the maintenance fee from 1st of November for Fuliza, it's 25 shillings if you're borrowing anything between 2,500 up to 70,000 shillings. So if I am taking a loan of 50,000 shillings at 25 shillings per day, you can calculate, it comes to only 9,000 shillings I'm going to pay, what they call maintenance fee, which is interest. That would come to 18%. So if here I'm going to pay 8%, I'm going to save another 5%. You know, so ultimately, yes, it will be cheaper. But for the people who are borrowing, they're not looking at an annual loan. People are looking at a situation where they're borrowing money today.
Quick fix money.
You know, yes, for a couple of days, do this today, buy this thing, sell tomorrow, return that money, get another. This is the way. So somebody can take actually a loan of Fuliza 4-5 times a day. You know, and that's the essence of this thing. It's not about an annual loan where, you know, you look at the terms. So it's misplaced if you look at it from that point. So if you are taking a short-term loan of 2,000-3,000 shillings, what you're looking at is really that liquidity. It's not as much how much you're going to be charged for 3-4 days. But when you look at it annually and you annualize it, then you'll find it is expensive. But I think for the people who are doing this thing, the reason why they're taking it so much and it's so successful is because they're not looking at the annual aspect of it. They're looking at the urgency of the need, and you know, and so it's not that whatever. However, I think the issue really is not even about the size of the 50,000 or whatever. But the thing is, you are simply bringing a fund that is going to compete with an existing fund, you know, funds that are already existing in that category. What Kenyans need, I think, is also to provide something for the main source of employment in this country is the small and medium sized. These are the people who are doing businesses $500,000 and above.
All right. Mheshimiwa Billow, because we're taking a break in a while, I just want you to respond to something. The government, from my understanding, is very well aware that there are other you know, such arrangements going on like the Fuliza. But I'm looking at the dispatch from Cabinet. I want you to respond to what they seek to fix. And they say that the Hustlers Fund is part of the administration's answer to the predatory lending that historically has denied many households the opportunity to make a rightful contribution to nation building. The fund is expected to offer the much needed relief to 8 million Kenyans who have been blacklisted by the credit rating agencies. Yes, there is Fuliza, there is others, but what if you fail to pay? We're looking at the interest rate. We're also looking at the consequences that come when you fail to pay on time. This is what the Kenya Kwanza administration seeks to fix. What is your response to?
Yes, I think in that context, of course, it's much better because here you're not going to have, and I think the issue of the Credit Reference Bureau has been addressed to a large extent, and I think some of the digital credit providers have already themselves agreed to write off. Last week, for example, they wrote off 11 billion of outstanding credit because they realized there's going to be competition. So I think in that context, yes, that you're not going to be criminalized, although it says in the regulations that there's going to be penalties for those who misuse and so forth. But I think the fact that they've introduced a credit scoring system, which will be the main determinant whether how much you'll get. If you take 1,000 today and pay back again on 3-4 days on time, your credit scores become positive. Then you'll be allowed to borrow more and more and increases. But if your credit scoring, I think in that context, the structure, and we'll see how it works. But so I think in that context, I don't think there is a dispute that it would stand. But you know, when you look at the bigger picture, I think that it's not going to be easy for them to compete with also these other ones because of the simplicity of access.
Thank you.
The access to the fund. Yeah.
I mean the swiftness. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
the impact thereafter. Honorable Sako Bonyasi, when we get back from the break, of course, we continue and proceed with the discussion here on the broadcast. And on the 7-member board, the structure, the infrastructure in place, of course, and talking about the targeting and how this seeks to reboot the economy, talking about the place of corruption and how that can further be addressed to save a third of the country's budget, which goes to waste through leakages in the financial systems of the country. You're watching Daybreak on Citizen Television. Thank you for staying with us, and later towards the tail end of the broadcast, we will sample your feedback. The hashtag on Twitter is Daybreak. The SMS code is 22422, at Citizen TV Kenya, at Ayub Abdikadir, and at Safin_Acheng. The discussion continues after the break. Stay tuned.